Okay, we are trucking along in our course, and just to sort of piggyback off of our Zentangle portrait, we're going to start on digital art, so our digital art unit. So under content, we're going to go down to digital art. So this is a quick unit, just because we're going to learn not just how to use like the paint bucket tool and stuff on Clecky, but just actually how to draw and paint a little bit on the computer. So again, we're sort of limited with what we have and what we can do, but we're gonna try our best. I hope you like this. So we're going to do something called Grime Art. So let me just give you a brief introduction and what I mean for Grime Art and what it is. And I hope you like this assignment. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Okay, so let's get started here. Everything's so slow. Perfect. We're coming. Okay, so we're going to be looking at Grime Art, and this is going to be our quick digital art lesson. So if I can get the slides to change. Okay, here we go. So some of you recognize this already, and my face is right over top of it. There we go. That's where I can fit. Some of you may have recognized this from grade 10 urban art. So we have a different take on this from what we've done previously, but this guy is still important. So it's a French artist, and his name is Marcel Duchamp. And he did artwork about 100 years ago. In fact, so this piece here was made in 1919. And what you're saying is, wait a second, he didn't make this. This is Leonardo da Vinci. Yes, it's the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. But Marcel Duchamp did something kind of crazy. And just sort of a backstory, in the early 1900s, he was a bit of a rebel. He was in a group with artists, and they came together, and they were very unhappy about how art galleries work and in the process of being able to show your art. So they decided as a group to write their own manifesto and have their own art show. And their belief was there was more than one definition of art. In fact, like there was more different types of art. So their art show that they proposed that they wanted to run was that anybody that submitted a piece, it would be accepted into the art gallery, into the art show. So normally what happens is you apply for an art show, and there's like a panel of judges that judge that, okay, this is good enough to go into the art gallery, that isn't, etc. So you've got these people that are always in charge of like what art is and what the public gets to see, right? So Marcel Duchamp and his group of people decided that it was the artists that get to decide what art is and what goes in an art show. So he did something kind of funny. He actually did this first. If I can do this. There we go. He did something first. He actually put a urinal into the art show. So he actually signed it Armut. So it wasn't his real name. It was an anonymous name, and he signed it in 1917. And he put the urinal. He wanted to put the urinal into the art show. Well, of course, the group of artists who were supposed to believe that art can be anything 100 years ago rejected his piece, right? Because remember, anybody that submitted a piece, it was supposed to be in the show. They actually rejected the piece. They didn't realize it was Marcel Duchamp. So he was furious because then he was realizing these people weren't really being truthful in their show, what they wanted to do for art, right? He was really pushing the boundaries, and he wanted to see how far he can push it. Another piece that he did was this piece here, where he took a picture of the Mona Lisa. This is from a calendar, and he drew a mustache and a goatee on the Mona Lisa, and he gave it a new title, and the new title was called LHOOQ, and he put it into an art show again. And I guess this just caused a huge uproar in the art community, because you have a piece that's, Leonardo da Vinci, and he's a genius, and this is the most reproduced image in all of history. So he termed this called the ready-made. We're like taking the urinal or taking like a calendar image of the Mona Lisa, something that is already made. You're changing it just slightly, or maybe not necessarily changing it all, but you're just changing people's perspective on how they view the object. And that was the role of the artist, not necessarily like the old school traditional ways of painting and drawing, but the actual ideas behind the art. And this really changed a lot of stuff. So we consider him one of the first vandals. Street art, graffiti, wouldn't exist if it wasn't for rebels like Leonardo, or like Marcel Duchamp, who started questioning what art is and taking it from traditional realistic stuff into other things, right? And so he's insulting the art institutions, the big serious art galleries that only like realistic art and very serious art in big gold frames, right? It's funny. It's very smart. So that's Marcel Duchamp. So we're going to take a lesson from him and we're going to put it into modern times. So our ready-made, oh, one more thing I need to tell you is about the title for this is called L-H-O-O-Q. And again, he is French. So if you say those letters in French, it's L-H-O-O-Q. If you say it really fast, it's L-H-O-Q. She has a hot butt. So talk about insulting, right? Insulting the Mona Lisa and everything it stands for. Okay, fast forward to 2020. And our ready-made is not a calendar image, but an image from the internet. So we have something that, like, it's the Mona Lisa. It's supposed to represent, you know, the ideal of beauty, the ideal of genius in terms of the painter. And he makes it ugly by putting a mustache and a goatee on her, right? So we are doing something very similar, but with technology and with our ready-mades that are digital images. So we are taking photos of portraits of people from the internet, celebrities, political people, anything that you think, and we are making them look very zombie-like. We're making it look like grime is pouring off their face. It's cheese, like it's melting off of their face. Okay, so Grime Art, you can do this by taking magazines and actually using paint marker on there, but usually this is done digitally. So it's like cartoonish sort of bright colors with black outlines and slimy flesh, and the eyes are white and they're very zombie-like. And this form of art is not distributed through art galleries, it's distributed through social media like Instagram and Tumblr, and the hashtag is #GrimeArt. So with this, it's the skin that is grimed. So any of the hair or the clothing is left natural. So the black outlines go around the major features. So around the eyes and the eyebrows and the nose and the mouth. And then you can see like there's bags under the eyes are sort of extended as if the skin is just pulling down, right? So you can be really creative in terms of doing like people and celebrities. And I just think this is brilliant how this is done, right? So again, really cool contrast of just the black and white with the cartoon colors, and then the skin but not the clothing, right? So Grime Art is like what Marcel Duchamp did. It's revealing this ugliness of these photoshopped celebrities and the unattainable beauty and maybe the ugliness and politics of people, right? So and the colors that are very cartoony and black outline, and you can see like the bags under the eyes are one color and the eyes are like this white, always blank, like nobody's there, right? And the lips and the eyebrows tend to be another color, right? Even the queen gets grimed. Okay, so again, like cheese melting off your face and dripping. Okay, so to start off with, you are going to try this on Donald Trump. So in the next lesson, I'm going to do a tutorial on how to actually do this on Clucky. The first step, though, is just to learn how to do Grime Art and just get used to drawing and painting on Clucky, on the computer. It's different hand-eye coordination, right? It's different than drawing like this on a piece of paper. But so it's going to take a little bit of practice. So we're all going to start with this image of Donald Trump, and we're going to do our best to try to grime the skin, right? And the flesh, even the hands if you want. And so this is our practice one. So let's go to the next lesson and let's learn how to actually do some Grime Art on our computer.